Hello guys, it's Crystal15122 and I'm here with my first makeup tutorial and we're going to be learning how to do a rash. So first I'm going to list what you need. I'm going to be using eyeshadows and a blush. So for that, to apply it, you can either use brushes, which I'm going to use nice ones. I have a nice fluffy brush and an angle brush. You'll learn why I have an angle brush in a couple seconds. Or you could use Q-tips, which I'm not going to use because they're just a little more easier. They're dispensable, so I'm not going to use those though. I prefer to use my brushes. Now you can also use a cream makeup, which you would need cosmetic wedges. Would be better to use, like a Ben Nye product. You can get like these from any dollar store anywhere that sells makeup for cheap. So I got a 32 pack. So they're smoother, gentler, but I'm not going to use that because I'm using eyeshadows. So now I'm going to tell you why I have an angle brush. I have an angle brush because I like to trace the outline on my arm before I put all the makeup in it and stuff. Now you will go out, but it just makes it easier than if you don't have it. I don't know, in my opinion, so you don't have to do exactly that. So time to show you the makeup we'll be using. I have a little palette by Lancome, and it's a 4 eyeshadow palette. Now we're going to be using 3 of these 4 colors. We'll be using, there's 4 colors are Montage, Contrast, View, and Exhibition. And we will be using Contrast to outline, and View and Exhibition to fill it in. Now, let me explain what these colors look like. This contrast is a nice dark purple. View is a tan with a little bit of a reddish pink hint to it. And Exhibition is a nice gold. Now, of course, I'd be using a matte, more of a matte, actually, because some of these are sparkly. Now, I'd be using a more matte because if I want to look realistic, and our rash is sparkly. No, I do not think so. We'll be also using this matte tan eyeshadow that I find blends your color by L'Oreal, and that's to soften it up if you use too much of the reddish that I'm going to show you, reddish pink, well, pinkish red. I'm going to show you that we're going to use to fill it in, and it also helps you blend the other makeup into your skin. So we're also going to be using this. It's a rouge, also known as blush, and it's a pinkish red color. You can tell. So yeah, any red or pink color works, but if you look at a rash, it's more pinks than red, so you'd probably have better luck with the pink. So first thing we're going to do is trace the outline in contrast. So one moment, just get that on. Sorry, I'm using a webcam, so I can't really fast forward anything. So you want roundish shapes. Yeah, that's really, I suggest either using a tip or the back of it, because that works better. So you want nice round shapes, not a complete circle necessarily. So now you just want to rub that in, and this over here open. I'm going to use that in a second. So you just rub it out until it's really, really faint on the skin. You can barely see it on my webcam because it's low quality, so I don't want anyone wants to see the old ones. So then you want to take your fluffy brush or whatever you have, Oh yeah, another thing I forgot to say. If you're gonna be using Ben Nye creams or stuff, or any cream makeup, you're gonna want a powder puff and some powder. That way you can set it and touch it. This just kind of stays on. So, but just in case, you might want to take the fluffy brush and the color, or any other colors, just to make sure. I wouldn't take the red because that's the most important. Yeah. So take some of your view or whatever, reddish tan kind of, and fill in your outline. You want a nice, dark, filled in outline. Yeah, that looks really super dark, but it's not. It's lighter than me. Now, another thing is, you're going to be wanting to blend out with your fingers, because if you blend out with your brush, it's going to be blended out too much. So yeah, I'm just going to take it and finish filling it in. So now it should look something like that. Yeah, it's cool. Another thing the matte does is it just kind of covers your arm hair so it looks normal, because this stuff gets all over your arm hairs and makes it with the color that it is. So just take a little bit exhibition. Well, take a little more than less. Take a little more because the stuff doesn't show up too well. So you're just gonna tap that in, and then you're gonna so that way it looks more a little less red. So reddish pink, whatever color your little thing is. Yeah, my angle brush is already like infused with the purple, so the tip's always purple. So now you're gonna take a reddish or pinkish color and rub off my fluffy brush a little bit on my like here. Now you're gonna take a bunch, and I mean a bunch, because this stuff you can just blend out and cover up, and otherwise it doesn't get on. See, there's not much on there. There's not much on there, so just start filling that in. In fact, go outside of the lines, like a lot. So just like make sure it's a little like less like blended and more like oatsy eyebrush. Now you're gonna want to take a little more and just run it over everything. And by now, the purple line should be pretty much gone. That's what it should look like. Another thing you might want to do is test out a little bit of it, because sometimes it just can itch because you have a lot of product on your arm. So now you're going to take your mat. I still went a little overboard. I like always go overboard. So just cover it up. So now you're just going to go along the edges and just blend it slightly into your skin. Not too much, just slightly. So, yeah, and then it should look something like this. Okay, now that's all. And then if you put too much matte, I just personally think I did, because I always think I do. I'm going to just brush a little over, and then it should look something like this. Now, if you want it to be specific, like from a poison ivy plant, or if you, okay, so if you want it like specific from, let's say, a poison ivy plant, then, sorry, my monitor turned off, then you would want it more patchy. And if it was more like a rug burn kind of rash, then you'd want it more solid. Now, if you combine these two, it looks pretty nasty and gross, so that's good for like whatever, I guess. So yeah. And then if you're using bentonite and you followed along exactly as I did, and now would be the time to set it with powder, or whenever you do. Oh yeah, you'd also need a powder brush to wipe all the powder off. And so yeah, that's basically it. So see you guys. Bye.